It's your girl Ash and I am back with another video, and today I'm going to be reacting to Joshua Norton, the only United States Emperor. Yes, I'm stalking Sam again. If you guys would like to check out my other Salmonella videos, the link will be up at the top. If you haven't subscribed already, what are you waiting for? Hit that red button so you could be a part of the family. Don't forget to give your girl a thumbs up. Enough of me talking. Let's get straight into this reaction.
This video is sponsored by Wix.
Wix.
Hey kids, let me ask you, do you watch the news often? Have you attended a school in your life?
Yes.
You ever look at a dollar?
Yes.
If the answer to any of these questions is yes, then chances are you're familiar with at least a couple United States presidents.
Yes.
But if you're like me prior to last week, you've probably never heard of a United States emperor. Excuse me, good sir, but
No.
I should inform you that we're
haven't.
actually living under an emperor as we speak, at least according to my degree from the University of Reddit. Hey, that's great. Whoa,
University
look
of
over
Reddit.
there. It's someone criticizing Elon Musk. And he's making typos. Anyway, let me tell y'all a story about a man named Joshua Norton. Norton was born in England at some point in the 1810s. Very little is known about the guy's younger years other than the fact that he spent most of his youth in South Africa as part of the UK's colonization programs. He came to San Francisco in 1849 with a modest amount of wealth to his name and worked his way up in the real estate and commodities markets to become one of the city's wealthiest citizens. All was normal in the life of Mr. Norton, until one day when he got a little too big for his britches. You see, in 1852, China was facing a huge famine, so they completely banned the export of rice. Naturally, San Fran's
wow.
rice price began to skyrocket in response to the reduced supply, peaking at 36 cents per pound. Norton saw this and decided to buy a $25,000 rice shipment from Peru at 12 cents per
Let me find out he another hustler, another go-getter.
pound, thinking he'd corner the market. Keep in mind, that's around $750,000 in today's money. Little did he know, that wasn't the only shipment coming out of Peru, and by the time he was able to sell it, rice was already back down to 3 cents a pound. Now, according to my calculations, that put Norton at a net loss of a whole frickin' lot. He subsequently got into a years-long court battle with the vendor who sold him the shipment, which only cost him more money, and ultimately left the man destitute. So, Norton did what anybody would do after losing everything. He drank a nice hefty dose of fuck it all and said, you know what? The courts can eat my shorts, the house can eat my blouse, Peru can eat my shoe. I declare myself emperor of these United States. And I'm telling every newspaper in the city about it. And then he did. Now, the papers could have just been like, what a
That's
lunatic.
hilarious.
And that would have been the end of it. But instead they said, you know what? This guy's kind of a meme. Let's publish his declaration just for gits and shiggles. People across the city had their laughs, and Norton's rise to power began. From here, he issued several more commands to the media, and unlike nowadays, people loved having regular Norton updates shoved in their face. Among these announcements was a decree in 1859 to formally abolish the United States Congress. He also gave out a mandate to both the Protestant and Roman Catholic churches to formally ordain him as emperor. Although these edicts were ultimately ignored by the powers they were.
He was bossy and very adamant. Like, okay, I guess if you want to get shit done, you just gotta bully your way. Okay, Joshua Norton.
Addressed to. They still served to build Norton's reputation around the city, and before long he was a fully fledged local celebrity. He was easily recognized by passerby, typically sporting a blue naval uniform and a beaver hat with a peacock feather in it. Pretty soon, Norton could expect to receive the royal treatment wherever he went. People started to address him formally on the streets, he got to ride public transport for free, and he even got occasional tax payments from people sympathetic to his impoverished living situation. Oh, and get this, Norton became so famous that toy stores in the city began selling dolls of the man for kids to play with. How many people can you think of that were so legendary that they got dolls made
that's
after them?
crazy.
You got Emperor Norton, Mr. T, and the bear that Teddy Roosevelt decided not to shoot. That's it, really. Also, though not backed by actual law in any way, his declarations came to be taken relatively seriously by the populace around him. For example, according to Norton, saying Frisco instead of San Francisco would be punishable by a $25 fine. Talk to any Frisco native and you'll find that this attitude survives to this day. With the help of a local printing firm, Norton even issued his own currency, which was actually accepted by many residents of the city, despite
Hold up. Nah. I know these stories be real and these people be real, but bro, like, what? He created his own currency? Man, if he would have did that these days, his butt would definitely be in jail somewhere. Everything is fraud these days. Like, damn.
Having no backing behind it whatsoever. In fact, a few Norton bucks are still floating around today as highly valued collector's items. I
Really?
tried doing the same thing a while back, but unfortunately, Onella rubles are still only worth their weight in Onella rubles. Of course, it wasn't all magpies and molasses for our good friend Josh.
Molasses.
He was once arrested by a policeman named Armand Barbier, who wanted to throw him in an asylum for his apparent insanity. Needless to say, when the public caught wind of this, they lost their fucking
this
minds.
been wild.
Irate citizens wrote complaints in droves. All the newspapers published scathing editorials towards the police department. Stray cats were thrown into wood chippers. I don't have any evidence for that last one. I'm just,
I was
assuming
about to
based on what I would do
say.
in this scenario. Anyway, pretty soon, the chief of police got the memo, and Emperor Norton was released unscathed. Thankfully, Norton issued a royal pardon towards the man who arrested him, and from that point
Wait.
onward, whenever Norton passed a
How do you how do you give the man that arrested you, that's actually law enforcement, a royal pardon? Like, what you was going to do? Like, bruh, he was definitely mental. This is law enforcement. Actually part of, like, the government. Like, he's hired to do his job. This man was insane. No. There's no, I refuse. I refuse to believe that this story is real.
member of the force, they would stop and salute him. So,
What?
although in many ways he appeared godlike, Norton was but a mortal. And, as mortals sometimes do, Emperor Norton decided to drop dead on a street corner on January 8th of 1880. However, he left behind a legacy the likes of which most of us could only dream of. Beyond just the comedic value of his many exploits, Norton definitely had his
Third eye.
prophetic moments, with some of his orders actually coming true decades after they were given. On multiple occasions, he ordered a bridge to be built between San Francisco and the Oakland Bay Area, which was eventually constructed in the 1930s. He also told
Oh,
people to
wow.
form a League of Nations to uphold international interests. Unfortunately, a man yelling in California wasn't quite enough to convince the leaders of the world that such a thing was necessary. But who knows? Maybe little Nordo could have stopped World War I if he had been just a bit louder. I hope this tale has inspired some of you young impressionable kids out there. Not because I expect any of you to succeed in the same way Norton did, but just because it's my personal belief that the world could always use more oddball vagrants. Wait a minute. Oddball vagrants. Product placement. Sponsor time. Question. Do you do literally anything? If the answer
Yo,
is yes,
Sam
then
is
chances are you
crazy.
can get a lot of use out of a website powered by Wix. You can give your small business the professional makeover it deserves, or show off your art and other hobbies
I
in
can't
any
believe
style
that
or
the
layout
story
you can
is,
imagine.
like,
Even if
really
you don't
real.
do anything with your life,
And
then
they made
hey,
a
today's
toy
as good
after
a day
him,
as
and
any
they
to try your hand
actually
at web development.
implemented
Wix does all
things
the
that
heavy
he
lifting
wanted
for
to
you,
have
meaning even
done
a
when he
novice
was
can create
alive.
stunning pages of all shapes and sizes. Beyond just the aesthetic aspect, Wix also offers tons of other services for your site, like custom domain names and email services. Oh, and did I mention it's free? So please, try Wix today. Anyway, that's all for today. Till next time, I'm Salmonella, and thank you for watching.
I love Sam. That story is very interesting, y'all. Like, very interesting. He was crazy, but I guess people respected him in a sense, clearly. Um but yeah, I really don't know what to say. I guess he is like a legend. I mean, they actually started implementing things that he wanted to have done. That's bugged out. I don't know. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Give your girl a thumbs up. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, fam.